Now see, first I'll tell you a very important concept of Java compilation process. See, whenever I teach any programming language, for example, if Manas you remember, when I was teaching you Python, I told that Python is an interpreted language, interpreted programming language. Before I tell you what interpreted means, first you need to understand how many types of programming languages we have. So we have two types of programming language. One is compiler based, compiler based. One is interpreter based. Okay. Now to understand the difference between them, first I ask a very basic question to you. See, I can speak English and Hindi. Both of you can speak English and Hindi. What is the language that computer can speak or understand? Binary. What kind of language is binary? Binary is 0 and 1. That means no matter what graphical user interface you are seeing here, or no matter how beautiful website you access, remember everything is represented in computer in the form of 0 and 1. Even the lecture that I am giving you right now is taken by the sound card of my laptop, converted to 0 and 1, transmitted from my network to your separate networks, taken by your laptop, converted to a analog signal, and from your speaker you can hear what I am speaking right now. Okay, so ultimately a computer understands 0 and 1. No matter what programming language you are studying right now, computer will not understand its language. Even though you may understand, but computer is not going to understand. Ultimately we have to tell it in the form of 0 and 1. That means there is a need of what? A translator. Okay, and now when the word of translator comes, that is going to convert a human understandable language, convert a human understandable language to computer understandable language. Okay, now translator, the purpose of translator is to convert a human understandable language to computer understandable language. And this translator can be either compiler or interpreter. And to understand the difference between two, let's take an example. Suppose Russia president, Russia president comes to your country. Okay, both of you are in USA. He comes to your country and he gives a speech in Russian. Fine. Now you will observe that the people who are sitting there, how are they going to understand what he is speaking? There is a translator or a live translator who takes one line whatever he is speaking and immediately translates it to English so that people sitting there can understand. Okay, these are live translators, that whatever he is speaking, converting it to English. Fine. And there are some different kind of translator that you see translated script in the newspaper next morning. Like whatever speech he gave, a translator sits down in the evening, reads his entire speech, converts it into English language, and then this is printed in the English newspaper or daily newspaper that you read, right? So these are two types of translator, one who is translating it live, the other one who translate the whole speech together into human understandable language, that is English. Same case goes with compiler. Compiler based compiler will translate the entire program into binary language all at once. Okay, suppose you write a 1000 line of code to generate a calendar of 2024. Okay, and when you press the run button, What will be the purpose of compiler? It will translate the entire program into binary language all at once. So what is the problem here? In case you made some mistakes, so it will show you a plethora of mistakes in front of your screen, which is hard to debug. You will think, oh my god, where else did I make a mistake? Okay. In interpreter based, what happens? This is a real translation. As soon as you write one line of code, it gets converted. Let me come to that point. Just now, I'm just telling you the difference between compiler and interpreter. Na? Translate the code line by line. As soon as you write one line of code, it translates it to computer understandable language. So, in case you made any mistake, it will point out immediately. Now, all traditional programming languages like C, C++, and other or traditional programming languages are compiler-based programming language. And all the latest programming languages like Python, are interpreter based programming language. Fine. Now remember, Java is the world's first programming language which is both compiler and interpreter based language. Okay, good. Now see, understand this process. For example, you made a note. Okay, you made a not note, you wrote a program. Fine. In the terms of computer programming, this program is called the source code. Fine. When you run this, okay, the compiler will take it and translate it bytecode. Okay, bytecode is also called intermediate code, and this is platform independent. Okay, then this bytecode is taken by interpreter and converted into machine understandable code. And this, when I say machine understandable code, this is platform dependent. Okay, now see, for example, you are wrote a program that adds two number. Fine. When you press the run button, the compiler will take it and convert it into bytecode. Now this bytecode is also called intermediate code or platform independent code. That means if you want to share your code with your friends of families, other people, you would have to share this bytecode. That is the intermediate code. This is platform independent. Okay. This does not make any difference that the bytecode is different for Windows, bytecode is different for MacBook, bytecode is different for Linux. This is going to be independent. But once this intermediate code of bytecode is taken by the interpreter, what interpreter does? Line by line. It will convert it into a machine understandable code, that is the platform dependent code. Another important point you need to know is this interpreter is nothing but the Java virtual machine. Okay. And one more important point that you should know is the Java source code. This source code I'm talking about. Okay, the Java source code file has a .java extension. See, whenever you have a PDF file, you will see the extension is .pdf. Whenever you have an image, it is .png, .jpeg, .gif, or yes, this kind of extension are there. For document, you have .doc, .docx, and so on. So Java source file will always have a .java extension. And see, source code, I told you, source code will have .java extension. Next comes the concept of bytecode, the intermediate code. So the Java bytecode will have the dot class extension. Very important. You may note it down. Okay. Now, next thing that you need to know is I told you about Java source file. This is the first step, right? Then I told you about the Java bytecode, this intermediate code. Let's also talk about interpreter. Now, just now, if you notice here, interpreter converts your platform independent code to a machine understandable code that is platform dependent. That means the interpreter is always different for different operating system. This is an important point. The interpreter is always different for different operating system. Fine. That means the interpreter for Windows would be different. Unix it would be different. Macintosh it would be different. Okay. So what is this actually? What is this interpreter? The Java virtual machine, which is commonly called as JVM, is actually the interpreter. Okay, if someone asks you what interpreter is used in Java, you are going to say Java virtual machine, and this is a platform dependent. Fine. Now you will ask me, how do I get this Java virtual machine? Okay, one question might be in your mind, how do I download JVM? Okay, the answer is JVM is never downloaded alone. Fine, it is a part of it is a part of JDK. That means JDK means Java Development Kit. Okay, you must have seen a lot of games are there, a lot of projects are there, or even Arduino projects are there. They require a development kit. You need a jumper wire, you need some LEDs, you need some different instrument, you need Arduino board, then there are some hard boards also required. Yes, similarly JDK is also a kit, Java development kit, which has all the important programs, portfolios, and different things required for running a Java program. Okay, it will combine of JRE, compiler, JVM, etc. So when you download JDK, when you go to the official website of Java, like Oracle, JDK version will be different for different operating system. You can go to the website of Oracle, and when you download JDK, for Windows there is a different JDK, for Macintosh there is a different JDK, and for Unix there is a different JDK. Okay, so never ever will your Java program run on your computer if you don't have a JDK installed. First prerequisite: JDK is a prerequisite to run Java programs on your computer. Fine. However, no such development kit is required in case you are doing other programming language, especially the latest programming languages like Python or R or SQL or so on. Note it down. JDK also clear, JVM also clear. Okay. One thing more you need to know: JIT, that is just in time compiler. It compiles selected portions of bytecode into executable code. The remaining code is simply interpreted. This is of not much importance, but it works only on selected portion of bytecode. Make a point of this also. Then I'll recapitulate the entire process once again and types of compilers. So take a look once again. You write a program that is the source code. When you press the run button, the compiler takes it, converts it into a bytecode. Bytecode is the intermediate code or the platform independent code. Fine. Then the interpreter takes it and it converts it to machine understandable code, that is platform dependent code. That is why Java is the world's first programming language which is both compiler and interpreter based language. Fine. And to help you get comfortable with these words like compiler, interpreter, okay, understand how would you define compiler? It is a program that translates a high level program, high level code or language into machine code all at once. Okay. Whereas interpreter, how would you define interpreter? It it is a program that translates the high level code or language into machine code line by line. Okay, this is the basic difference between the two: all at once, line by line. Now within it there is a very interesting words or meaning hidden. What is this? High level language. Fine. If you want to understand high level language, then that means definitely there is something at a lower level as well, isn't it? So the lower level are assembly language and the least is machine language. See, when you talk about the evolution of languages, you had first the machine language. Machine language is nothing but the same binary code. Okay, 0 and 0 and 1. That means even if I have to say words like Elvin, Manas or Elvin is studying Java, okay, we will have to represent it in the form of 0 and 1. So the drawback of it was, even though computer might understand it very well and it might be of great importance to it, for a human being remembering everything in the form of 0 and 1 is not easy. So we switched to some different experiments. What other languages we can have? So assembly language was designed. Yes, because programming in machine language is obviously a tedious process and was prone to errors. So we moved on to assembly language. In assembly language, what were there? Programs were written using symbolic code. Symbolic code, okay? Here symbols were used, or this were also called mnemonics code. You go for exam, you learn a different kind of mnemonics. When things are difficult, so you make mnemonics of it, especially in chemistry, you learn, in physics, you make some mnemonics. So assembly language are composed of symbolic code or mnemonic code. Okay. For example, suppose if a machine language says 0100 101, then in assembly language it could mean add. Okay. A common case, so it may look like add AX, BX, MOV, AL 61H is still far better than 0 and 1. But again, there is a problem of representation. How much mnemonic codes do you need to represent? Okay. The purpose was to make programming easier. So these programs were ultimately easier to write than the machine level code. Okay. Now you will ask, for example, compiler converts high level language to machine level language. Yes, this too you are comfortable with. So what is used that converts high level language to machine level language, or not high level, assembly language? See, just look at this. High level language, assembly language. Okay. So what converts assembly language to machine language? This is assembler. Assembler converts assembly language to machine level language. Okay. Finally, high level language you people know now. High level language is the language that we can speak or understand. So interpreter or compiler is used to convert a high level language to machine level language. Okay. So three different type of languages are machine language, assembly language, and high level language. Correct? Now my question to you is, what kind of translator is used to convert high level language to machine level language? Very good. What kind of translator is used to convert assembly language to machine language? Very good. Perfect. So ultimately this is your computer And these two were the invention of human beings to communicate with computers. Now assembly language is hardly used anywhere. Everyone relies on high level language. That is why whenever you will go to official website of these programming languages or do a Wikipedia search, you will always see that they are written or they are defined as a high level language. Java is a high level language, Python is a high level language. Why? My question to you is, why are they called high level language? Can you now tell me after this, after listening to me for so long? No, you cannot directly say of capabilities. Capable is to machine language also. We are not capable to understand it. Correct. Easier. This is the word that I want to hear. Easier for humans to understand and write. Isn't this easier? Say for in Python, you simply have to write print and print whatever message you want to print. New year coming soon. You write this much and this gets printed. So easy. You want to run a while loop, you write while. Anyone can understand, anyone can relate. You want to use conditional, you say if. Similar to the if block that we usually say in real life. So you can relate them, what is written. Okay, there is an important concept called function. So what is function of waiter? What is function of teacher? What is function of student? You know that all three of them have a different task to perform. Similarly, in programming language also function means a specific set of code that perform a specific task only. So they are easier to understand. Now clear? Assembly language, high level language and machine language. See, high level language you people can say this resembles English language. Machine language you people can say that this resembles 0 and 1. But what are you going to say for assembly language? No, not third person. I am saying that high level language is resembling English language. Machine language is resembling 0 and 1. Then what is assembly language resembling? Symbolic, yes, symbolic or mnemonics. I have given you here. See, okay. And if someone asks you what is an interpreter, what you are going to say? What is interpreter? Now tell. You have three types of languages. What is interpreter? Perfect. Perfect. And what is a compiler? Is it a language or is it a translator or what? No, not all at once. I am still telling you that there are three languages that we have, and they both are translator. These are the languages that we have. What is the purpose of compiler? Into machine language all at once. Correct. And then assembler, assembly language to machine level language. Okay, clear? The compilation process, interpretation process. Fine. Now next question that might come to your mind is like to run HTML files we need a web browser. To run a like to open a photo or video, we need a photo gallery or like different apps we have in our computer. For example, what are the application like photos is there, videos are there. To run a song, we have a music player. Yes. So, and to run Python programs, we have IDLE, Jupyter Notebook. So, question that comes to your mind is what software I need to run Java programs? Apache NetBeans. Okay, this is a high level software for high school students. A very famous program software is BlueJ. Beside this, also people use different software that you can search on the internet, like there are JGrass and other applications. Fine, but they are very popular. And most probably we will be using NetBeans for all our program that we are going to do in the subsequent classes. Let me ask you all a quick rapid fire. What language does the CPU understand? Is it machine language, high level language, assembly language, or English language? Yeah, okay. What is the full form of JVM? Yeah, correct. What is JRE? Full form of JRE? Java Runtime Environment. Okay, Java Runtime Environment. Note it down. Now, my next question to you is a program that translates code written in a high level language to machine code is called, yeah, high level language into machine code. A program that translates code written in a high level language into machine code. Compiler also or interpreter also. A program that translates an assembly language program into machine code. Perfect. Now my question is Java applications can run on, and I give you four options: Windows, Unix platform, Macintosh platform, or all of them. Okay. My next question to you is Java applications, and options are platform dependent, are platform independent, do not need a platform to run, cannot run on Windows. Platform independent. What is the extension of a Java source code file? No, I'm asking that what is the extension of a Java source code file? I just made you right. Yes. What is this? I'm asking you now what is the extension of a Java source code file? And what is the extension of Java class file? Dot class. Okay. So revise all of them. This is enough. And then we shall move ahead with the advanced topic.